It's another beautiful day to be a Raider, draped in the silver and black. I represent the shield. I represent the swords. It's that time of night again, Raider Nation. And you've come back. Why? Because it's time. It's time to bring the...
What's up, Raider Nation? I am the Commish, coming to you live from Hardcore Challenge Live Studios. Where is that, might you ask? Well, it's this little place. Down the street, round the corner. You gotta go down this alley. There's this guy. It's a guy, you know, he's got this hat. You gotta ask that guy. Sometimes he wants a 5. He'll tell you. We're right down there, right around the corner. Deep behind the enemy line. This is Raider frickin' Reaction. What's up? And we are going to try a little different format tonight than we typically do. We want to switch it up on Wednesdays because we've got the Monday Goes to the Post. But we got Big L in studio with me. No, we're not rocking no red hats. There will be no red hats. Then on Tuesday, we spend a solid 60 minutes going through everything Raider. So on Wednesday, and then on Thursday, we got the Raider Nation Ricochet, where every other week we got Captain in studio. We got other people in studio on as guests. And then, of course, we got Black Friday is what Black Friday is. So on Wednesday, we wanted to do something a little different. So we're reaching out and bringing in other members of the Raider Nation that are out there doing great things. Guys people that we would think it would be interesting for you to talk to ask questions. We want to make Wednesday a more interactive show. So we want to bring you guys into the show a little more. So, we're going to have some interviews over the next few weeks to start off the show, and we want you to throw up questions in the comments. Obviously, we've got our own agenda and our own list of questions we're going to throw at the guys, but we want you, Raider Nation, to be able to ask for Dub any questions you may have. We got Raider Mystic and Greenleaf going to join the show here via phone in just a moment. I'm going to make the calls out to them here in just a second. I'm going to conference call them in and get them on live with you guys. Now, after that, we'll keep them on as, as long as, we can come up with interesting things to talk about. We'll keep them on, and then we're going to finish out the show with a little interactive segment that we're going to do over the next few Wednesdays when we don't have our interviews going on. And it's a little bracketology for you. A little contest, a little interactive contest that we like to call the Raider Reaction Greatest Raider of All Time Tournament. Now, as you see, and we've posted it on the page as well, so you can follow along, and we've broken it down. The picture is just of the North bracket, which we are going to get into tonight. Now, let me zoom in here and get you the North bracket, if I can get it so you can see it a little better. This is our North bracket that we're going to run through tonight. And then next Wednesday, we will get into the other first round matchups. Of course, I'll post it right after so you know you can follow along how we're moving through. We've taken some time and tried to seed them properly so that obviously each region has a respectable first round seed. Of course, Jim Otto is the first round seed of the North. Kenny Stabler's the first round seed of the East. Howie Long is the first round seed of the West. And Willie Brown is first round seed of the South. And so on and so forth. We've tried to seed everybody properly to make it a fair. Bo Jackson actually was a 6th seed. Yes, he was. And when you break it down, you got greatest Raider of all time. A lot goes into what is the greatest Raider of all time. A lot goes into that statement. And you guys are going to help us determine that. You guys are going to help us determine that. But first, before we get into that, let's, these gentlemen on the phone here. You may have heard of these guys. Hello, hello. All right, hold on, my man. All right, let's get the other gentleman on here. Modern technology is a beautiful thing when it works. Hello, hello. All right, we got you both here. Let me merge the call. All right, and we are on. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yep.
All right, beautiful.
Yeah.
Technology is a great thing when it works.
Oh, yeah, it works.
All right, so Raider Nation joining us on the show right now. We've got live the Raider Hip Hop Underground Legends. I had the pleasure of getting to hang out and witness these guys live, bring you guys the stream from the Miami game. And these guys were awesome. I don't know if you haven't had a chance to see them live, you need to. We've got 4Dub on the phone. We got Raider Mystic and Mr. Greenleaf. What's up, fellas?
What's going on, Raiders?
Yeah.
Raiders. I can say it louder, but I'm in somewhere right now. I don't want to. They can't wake everybody up.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, don't scare nobody. Don't scare nobody.
Right.
So, I'm gonna let the Raider Nation, if you guys got any questions, throw them up in the comments. We'll throw them up to the guys. I've obviously got a few lists I'm gonna run through, and we'll get started with my questions, and I'll throw you guys some as the nation throws us some questions. So, I wanted to start out because not everybody probably knows the grassroots of how you guys came to be. How did 4Dub get started? How did you guys get working together and start doing what you do?
Well, let's see here. So let's go back about maybe 7 years. 4Dub was in the house. We're doing a Raider music. I had a partner named D-Train, and he stopped doing the music with us because of spiritual reasons and stuff, which is cool. You know how they go.
Yeah.
And so maybe a couple of years I was doing it by myself, and Pirate was helping me out. Rest in peace, Oaktown. And this guy Mystic, he hit me on the internet, and he was just complimenting some of the Raider music, saying he really liked it. You know, he's from Bend, Oregon. He's really born in Oakland, and he likes the music. And he told me he could rap, you know. And so at the same time, I had like 2 verses done on Soul Raider, and I sent it to him. And he got it, and he sent his rap back, and Word is born.
There you go. Which is one of my personal favorites, by the way. That is a tight track. So.
Yeah, first one was it.
Hey, that's sometimes how it works out sometimes.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I looked up Raider rap in iTunes, and I came across his album. I think it was titled Shalif Perkins.
Oh, Welcome to the Dark Side.
Oh.
Welcome to the Dark Side. And I burned
Unknown
the CD.
album.
And the Unknown album, huh? And
Dark Side.
I burned it to CD, and I left that CD in my ride for months. And I found Shalif on Facebook and was telling him how much I liked the album with the West Coast flavor on it. And it was all about the Raiders, right up my alley. So I was just a huge fan to start out.
Oh. Hey man, everybody loves some Raiders hip hop. I mean, that's the jam at the tailgate right there. And you guys supply it, man. You guys supply it. That party in Miami that last season, that was one of the hypest Raider parties I've been at in a while. So, and man, you guys were holding it down. It was solid.
Miami was definitely off the chain.
Are you guys doing Miami again? Are you guys doing Miami again this season? Because we got Miami again.
Yes, I believe we are. We say we're going backstage scheduling right, so definitely, I say so. Yes.
All right. Well, I'm going to be there.
We got to talk to Mario King and see what's going on.
Well.
Yeah, I'm always down to go back to Miami. Shit.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
No, we are rated MA. Drop whatever you need to.
Okay. Good to know.
Yes. This is not for children. No.
We never curse now, so I think we forgot how to. You know what I'm saying? So it's just clean.
Yeah. Well, it's always better that way, but don't feel bad if an F-bomb slips out here. It happens like every 5 minutes on this show usually. So it's quite all right. So
I have no control of that on Jameson at the game. So
well, at the game, man. The game. Things get R-rated. Yeah, things get R-rated at the game. Sometimes a little more than they need to. So, how you guys had quite a little tour last season, right? You hit quite a few spots on the road, I believe, right?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Not just the Miami game.
Yeah, when we look back at the film, it was like, wow, we did all this. Amazing.
Yeah.
So we did the Christmas parade on a float in Oregon and Bend.
And that's where Mystic is from. He's the mayor.
Yeah, I seen the video of that. I actually posted the video of that parade on the page. I remember what parade you're talking about, because it was actually made the rounds on a little bit of the Raider news, because it's obviously a large Raider gathering in a parade, not in the state of California. So it was a little bit newsworthy, to see that. So I remember seeing you guys at that.
Oh yeah, that was on across the world.
That's right. We
hit Phoenix last year. We're doing that again here in a few weeks.
And
Phoenix, the RFC convention, which is very fun. If y'all out there and you see flyer with the RFC convention, stuff's been going on for years. It's solid, man. It's family orientated. And Mike Summers was sawed off there, and they know how to really get down with putting on a good Raider event.
Yeah, absolutely. We posted the flyer to the page, and we will be posting it again. Captain Jack, who's on with me on Thursdays. He's going to be out at the Raider convention. He's going to be bringing some live streams for Raider Reaction. Unfortunately, I can't make it because my wife's not going to let me go. And I'm not going to lie, that's why I can't go. It's because my wife's not going to let me go. I want to go, but
I understand, man.
Keep it real. Keep it real.
I'm not going to lie. I got games I want to go to this season, and I got to pick my battles.
Yes, and a happy home is important.
Damn right it is.
You got to come back to that spot, so you might as well not leave sometimes.
Absolutely. Now, I've seen a couple questions pop up from Raider Nation, so let me throw one of them out there. Who, if you had to pick somebody to compare your music style to, another hip-hop artist, who would that be? If somebody that was, big influence to you guys, or who you feel like you emulate their style in your style? Who is there a certain person?
Wow, that's a good question.
Yeah, let me see what else they got here.
I always try to be original. I've always tried to be original when producing the music and stuff, and which brings some original lyrics and stuff like that. But I'm always producing, try to be different. And that's just the way it is. Always been that way. Right. Influences, mine go to rock. You know what I mean? I love rock and roll, man. So I like that hard stuff.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. I like the hard stuff too. I'm a little eclectic. I like the hip hop. I like the hard stuff. There's nothing wrong with a good mosh pit. Even over 40, I can still handle a mosh pit.
Oh yeah.
Shaleef's production is kind of like a West Coast cocktail for me.
Yeah, I can see that. I hear a little of the West Coast sound in there, but expectedly.
It's like, it's like washing your finger off on a Raider towel and dipping it into a mixed drink that you gotta mix up, and it's got all the different flavors of the West Coast in there.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like it.
And definitely that is a style, because I don't know nothing else. That's where I'm from.
Yeah. That's, hey, man, born and bred. It's in your blood. So, what do you guys got big on your plans for the 2018 season? I know you guys got to be hard at work getting ready for 2018.
Yeah, we got some shows lined up. Mystic, you want to hit them up, or?
I mean, you ain't got to drop no nuggets. If you got something.
We have the RFC on the 21st of this month, and then we're heading to Kern County, the July 21st. But before that, May 12th, we'll be in Bakersfield with the Raider Crusaders. With John Gruden's going to be there.
Oh yeah.
Lorenzo Lema's putting this event on. Jeff Barnes, Ron Martin. Super fans, hot dog eating contest, $300. You know what I'm saying? Some good stuff going on. Plus, coach is going to be there, John Gruden.
Yeah.
And who don't want to miss that?
There's going to be one of those hot dog eating contests there.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's what he said. That's cool stuff.
Maybe you'll get Joey Chestnut. Shit.
Yeah. Kobayashi might come.
Man, I seen Joey Chestnut compete in an ice cream eating contest. My God. It was almost insane to see that dude go through gallons of ice cream. Like, it was insanity.
No brain freeze? Wow.
No. It was brutal.
We have another show with Emily Poker Girl that we haven't set a date yet. Is that correct? Right, brother?
That's in Stockton.
Okay.
It's in Stockton, but we haven't set a date yet, right?
But yeah, and then I'm sure there's many more to be announced once the season hits. I think we might be hitting up Denver too in the summertime, hopefully.
Nice.
Denver, that's right.
Do you guys got anything out there you want to plug? Material you got? CDs? Well, hey man, you're on here. I want to help you get your stuff out there even more. That's what the Raider Nation's all about, man. Helping each other out.
You can get our hard copies through deadpiratesports.com.
There you go.
That's what every city on there, and you can get some merchandise too. It's real nice, And it's also on iTunes if you want to get some 4Dub too. And you just type in 4Dub on iTunes. And mixtape volume 5 is in the making. I think we're like 5 songs done. One good one we have now is called Coach is Back. And I don't know if it's coming out yet, but we have some good stuff coming. Mystic, your turn.
Very soon. Very soon. Very soon. Coach is back.
Coach is back.
Yes.
Like you don't know.
Like you don't know.
We got unfinished business since we back up in it to win it.
Woo! Oh man,
I know right now.
I can't wait. I can't wait. Well, I'm sure you guys obviously gonna be at the home opener, so I'm gonna see you guys at the home opener. I'm gonna be at the Miami game, so I'll see you guys at the Miami game. We'll get some live stream 4-dub action up on Raider Reaction, so everybody that ain't there can be jealous like they were last time.
That's right. Right on, man.
You know, we'll be out there in the tailgate somewhere doing some tracks.
Right on. Well,
you know, that
tailgate was off the chain in Miami.
That was, man. That was one of the best Raider parties I've been to. I ain't gonna lie, man. It was a night game in Miami. The weather was beautiful. You had freaking 4-dub rocking, and man, it was just about as damn perfect as it could get. And we won.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
That was a good night for beast mode that night.
Yes, it was, man. That was a great night, man. That was a fabulous night. I was there with my son that night. We drove down for the game. That was at least that put a little bright spot in the season for us, was because I got to take him down there. So because the rest of the season wasn't a bright spot.
Yeah.
So
if anybody out there hasn't checked out our Facebook page, make sure to check out the Facebook page to check out all the different videos we've made over the past years too.
Heck yeah, man. Go check out the 4-dub page. What'd you say? It was deadpirate.com is where you can...
Dead Pirate Sports.
Dead Pirate Sports. Excuse me. Dead Pirate Sports. Dead Pirate's probably something else completely different. God knows what the hell that is on the internet. It could be anything. Yeah, so make sure you go to the right one there. And but yeah, go check them out on Facebook, man. Check out their stuff. They got stuff on YouTube, videos on YouTube. Just Google 4-dub. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Use the internet.
Right.
It's your friend. Check these guys out. You're missing out if you haven't heard them yet.
Right on. Appreciate the love.
Hey, man, thank you guys for coming on with me. I appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind, maybe we'll have you guys back on again when we get a little closer to the season. And
Oh, yeah.
until then.
Yeah, anytime, man. Anytime. We're always down, you know. We're always down. We appreciate the support. We appreciate the love. And, you know, we're always out there rocking, and we put tons of energy into this, and we never stop.
I know how much work you guys put in, man. That's why I wanted to get you guys on here. And, you know, hey, hopefully if one person, we reach one person that hadn't heard you guys, then, man, it was worth it. So,
Right on.
And,
man,
and everybody that's been, like, wearing our gear, too, the 4-dub shirts, making shirts, sending us pics with shirts. Appreciate all that. Appreciate all of you.
Me too. Especially the cut up ones.
I gotta get me a 4-dub shirt. I ain't got a 4-dub shirt. I gotta get me a 4-dub shirt.
We got one.
What's in
I gotta get me a 4-dub shirt. I'll trade you for a Raider Reaction shirt. I got Raider Reaction shirts coming out next week.
All right, we sing
Swap.
something.
All right. All right, but hey, I'm going to let you guys go. We're going to jump into another little segment. You might want to hang around if you ain't got nothing to do. We got a fun little interactive segment we're going to do on Wednesdays after we do our interviews. But thank you guys for jumping on. I really appreciate it. Good luck with everything you guys got coming up. And we will have you back on again sometime as we get ready for some Raider football.
Right on, man. All right. One love, one nation.
You bet. Absolutely. There we go. You got the Raider hip-hop legends. 4-dub. 4-dub. Man, if you haven't checked out 4-dub live, and I tell you what, they aren't lying. That Miami game this season was one of the hypest Raider parties I'd ever been at. It was at night, Sunday Night Football. It was off the freaking chain. An amazing, amazing, amazing game. So, and an amazing time. Now, without further ado, let's get in to our Raider Nation Invasion Wednesday. The Raider Reaction. Greatest Raider the North region. Number 1 in the North is Jim Otto. He will be facing off against 16 seed Harry Shue. You have number 8, Greg Townsend, facing off against number 9 seed Charlie Garner. Number 5, Dave Casper, facing off against number 12, Clarence Davis. You have number 4, George Blanda, facing off against number 13, Greg Beekert. Number 6, Bo Jackson, facing off against 11 seed, Don Mosbar. Number 3, Gene Upshaw, facing off against 14 seed, Rod Woodson. Number 7, Lester Hayes, facing off against 10 seed, Jerry Rice. And finishing off with the 2 seed, Marcus Allen, against 15 seed, Dr. Death, Skip Thomas. All right. That is your North bracket. Round 1 of the Raider Reaction Greatest Raider of All Time Tournament. Now, I am going to need your assistance all the way through. This is a Raider Nation Invasion Wednesday, and we need your input to work our way through these brackets, decide a winner. Obviously, let's start out with our number 1 seed against our 16 seed. This is typically your walk in the park. You know, you don't expect a 16 seed to knock off a 1 seed. It's an unfortunate matchup, although it does happen. You've got Jim Otto. Obviously, he's Mr. Raider. He's considered by most, by a lot, a large percentage, the greatest Raider of all time. Will he survive in this bracket as myself and Raider Nation work through it? Remains to be seen. It's a very tough bracket. Contains Bo Jackson, Marcus Allen, Gene Upshaw, Dave Casper, George Blanda. So many different criterias. But let's look at this first matchup. Jim Otto against Harry Shue. Harry Shue was an offensive tackle from 1965 to 1970. He was elected as an All-Star Pro Bowl team 3 consecutive years, and he played on the Raiders' first Super Bowl squad and was elected to the franchise's all-time team. Offensive tackle. Harry Shue against possibly the greatest Raider of all time, Mr. Raider, that the only number that you'll never see another Raider. I mean, do we need to have more? All right, we're moving on. It's Jim Otto. All right. I think it's unanimous, and the audience agrees. It's Jim Otto. Moving on. Next in line. Now, this is a tough one. You've got an 8 seed against a 9 seed here. Now, this is one of those where we may have to stop and take a look at some little something here. Discuss this. You've got number 8 seed, Greg Townsend. Defensive powerhouse for the Raiders for years. He only left for 1 season and then came back and finished out his career. No. Going up against Charlie Garner. Now, Charlie Garner played 5 years in Philly, starting out in 1994 to 1999. Or excuse me, through 98. In 99, he went to San Francisco and played 2 years. Stopped off in Oakland for 3 and played 1 final season in Tampa Bay. He was a big, integral part in the team that went to the 2002 Super Bowl. So who do you pick? You have an 8 seed, Greg Townsend, against your 9 seed, Charlie Garner. Greg Townsend is almost a career Raider against Charlie Garner, who only wore the silver and black for 3 years. Although he did help us get to the 2002 Super Bowl, win the 2002 AFC Championship. I'm leaning towards Townsend. Even though as explosive and dynamic of player as Charlie Garner was, when you are talking a greatest Raider, Garner was on too many other teams. Talent-wise, yes, but I think I agree with Matt. By a nose, it's Greg Townsend. But that's a close one. Now here you have in our next matchup, the Ghost, Dave Casper. One of the greatest goddamn Raider nicknames out there. Number 5. It's number 12, Clarence Davis. Clarence Davis is most famous for being the man who caught the ball in the sea of hands in one of the greatest NFL games of all time. So you have the number 12 seed, Clarence Davis, against your number 5 seed, Dave Casper. I mean, the Ghost to the Post. I mean, we use it on Monday. We name our whole damn show every freaking week as an homage to the Ghost to the Post. Could it be anybody else? Oh, it's Crikey! Holy shit. But it couldn't be anybody else but Dave Casper, the Ghost. So it's Casper. We've got to move Casper. Unfortunately, Clarence Davis, your claim to fame will always be the man who caught it in the sea of hands, but you will not go down as the man who won the Raider Reaction Greatest Raider of All Time tournament, unfortunately. Now, moving on. Finishing out this half of the bracket. Number 4 seed, George Blanda. It's number 13 seed, Iowa City, Iowa born, Greg Biekert. I was always a huge Biekert fan. Greg Biekert was just the working's man's middle linebacker. He played all of his seasons with the Raiders. He led the Raiders in tackles for 6 seasons, including 4 straight years from 1998 to 2001. He recovered the ball that was a goddamn fumble. But George Blanda, man, I mean, it's almost like Jim Otto. Do you even need to say anything else besides the name? George Blanda. I mean, the guy played late into his 40s. He was integral in the decision of games into his 40s. In kicks, in coming in off the bench. George Blanda. Anybody make an argument for Biekert knocking off Blanda? A 4 seed against a 13 seed? I mean, I'll take any strong argument you got. I'm as big a Biekert fan as anybody, and I can't make an argument that strong. I just can't. That is the question everybody wants to know. But we will never, ever tell what's in the glass. And if you think it's the same thing every night, you're insane. Because it changes. Oh, man. Just some of them days, you're just like, I'm getting a little stronger. It's like, you know what I'm saying? All right. Jumping on down to the second half of the North region, round 1 bracket. We've got number 6, Bo Jackson. Vincent Bo Jackson. You may have heard of him. Number 34, two-sport athlete. Unfortunately, as much of a phenom as he was, cut short career. Going up against number 11, Don Mosbar. Now, Don Mosbar was an anchor and one of only 3 starting centers in the lineage before he handed it over to Dan Turk in the Raider lineage. So Mosbar is nothing to look past. He had a very, very strong career, was the center of our offense. Don Mosbar, you can make a very strong argument for Don Mosbar knocking off Bo Jackson. Is Bo Jackson just getting by on the fact he's Bo Jackson? You have to look at the actual body of work of Bo Jackson as a Raider. Is it still no argument for Don Mosbar? One of the greatest Raider linemen of all time. An anchor at center for years in the silver and black. No argument. It's Bo. He is Bo Jackson. That's about as good an argument as I need. Chuck's coming now, see? Mosbar was helping open them holes. He was on that line. Now, he was on a great line. He did have guys around him. So, you know, he did have Wisniewski. He did have Max Montoya. So, we will say, I'm guessing we're going Bo Jackson over Don Mosbar. I can make a strong argument for Mosbar, but unfortunately, I think he runs into a tough matchup there in round 1, having to go against Bo Jackson. It's going to be hard to get the Raider Nation to vote against Bo in anything. So, Bo Jackson is not getting bounced in the first round of the greatest Raider tournament of all time. It'd almost be a damn travesty if he was. Now, next is an interesting one. Now, you've got the 3 seed Gene Upshaw, who some consider should have possibly been a 1 seed or a 2 seed. But, for different reasons, he ended up a 3. And you could also make the argument for the other gentleman he's going up against, Rod Woodson, at a 14 seed. Now, Rod Woodson is 14 seeded only because of the brief time he was actually a Raider. Yes, he's one of the greatest players of all time, but he was not a Raider for a very long time. And recent history of negative press and running your mouth against one said former team may have played a little bias in the fact you're number 14 seed. May have just crept in a little bit subconsciously because somebody was talking shit. May have, just maybe. I agree, Chuck. And that's why he's a goddamn 14 seed. And that's why we ain't even discussing it anymore, because Gene Upshaw just broke his foot off in that ass in the first round. He's moving on. You're a one and done, Rod. See ya. Now this one's an interesting matchup as you have number 7 seed against number 10 seed. You have number 7 seed, a man who should be in the Hall of Fame. The judge. When you've got a nickname that precedes you. The legacy of the Stickum. Led the league in interceptions. He's got Super Bowl rings. The man, he's the other side of one of the greatest cornerback duos of all time, Michael Haynes. And he's in the Hall of Fame. How the hell ain't the other guy? So you've got number 7 seed, Lester Hayes, going up against number 10 seed, Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice. Number 7, Lester Hayes, against number 10, Jerry Rice. Now, Jerry, again, obviously, most people look at him as a Niner. Obviously, us being Raider Nation, we remember him for his great years in the silver and black. He was even a Seahawk. He even finished a freaking donkey. He was the 4th best wide receiver on the Donkeys. Lester Hayes is a career Raider. The Judge, stick him. I gotta agree with Lines. Rice was a better player. Lester Hayes is a fucking Raider. And there's no way he's getting bounced in the first round of the Greatest Raider Tournament. No way. So Lester Hayes, the 7 seed, is moving on. Now, that leaves us with one more bracket here in the first round of the North region. Now, this is one where you see those crazy upsets, where you see a 15 seed take a 2 seed down. But you're talking about one of my... This is my childhood hero. I will never forget being 8, 9 years old. My best friend, who is a Washington Redskins fan, and watching him reverse field in the backfield, turn through the line, running effortlessly as he single-handedly drove a dagger into the heart of the Washington Redskins. Marcus Allen, the number 2 seed in the North Division, against Dr. Death, Skip Thomas. Dr. Death has the distinction of being on the Soul Patrol. George Atkinson, Tatum, Willie Brown. Matt is correct. I did have that. I had that info right here. It was Otto, then Dalby, and then Mosbar. And when Turk took it over, it was only those 3 had ever been the center ever for the Raiders, and which is very crazy. I mean, if you really think about it, to have a position like that was dominated by single individuals for such a very, very long time. So Dr. Death facing off against Marcus Allen as the greatest Raider of all time. Now, Dr. Death was not a statistical juggernaut, but he was a very integral part of a Super Bowl team, as was Marcus Allen. But Marcus has 1 ring, as does Dr. Death. So do we have an upset at a 15 seed, 2 seed? What do you think? Thank you, Lions. I enjoyed talking to him, too. Hopefully Alonzo will come back on in the near future. See, I can make an argument, Chuck. I could make that argument. Marcus left. It broke my heart. But can you pick Dr. Death, Skip Thomas over Marcus Allen as the greatest Raider of all time? Let's see your votes right now. Bob's in on Marcus. Lines is in on Marcus. Let's see your votes, Raider Nation. Who you got? Skip Thomas, Dr. Death, member of the Soul Patrol. 70s defensive secondary juggernaut with Willie Brown, the assassin Jack Tatum, George Atkinson. Matt's in on Marcus. Jukebox is in on Dr. Death. Dr. Death, Dr. Death. We're about dead even. Allen taking a slight lead. Dr. Death. Ooh. This is a very tight, man. This is tight. I'm counting them up here. We're about dead even. I'd say Marcus has, no, we're pushing a little bit. We may sway just a little bit to Marcus, but this is a lot closer than I expected it to be originally. But you guys have changed. You've swayed me a little bit. You've swayed me a little bit into Dr. Death's. Could we have a 2 seed fall to a 15 seed? I mean, we're talking Marcus Allen here, folks. I mean, when you say Raider, I mean, they don't think Chiefs. That's only has become secondary. Big L, you damn cheater. He's voting once with a hashtag, then votes again without the hashtag. I'm trying to be slick. You can't go. Come on now, Leslie. You can't be Switzerland. I said, well, I'll just vote for both. They're both nice. No. We have to take a hard stance. You got to pick one or the other. We can't both be winners. It's not that. This is no participation league, Leslie, where everybody gets a ribbon. None of that. I would never allow my son to even be in those damn leagues. I got in one by accident and I pulled him the hell out. Be like, screw that. In life, there are losers. Learn to lose. That's what makes winning all the more sweeter when you get there. It's the ride. It's the journey that you have to take to get to victory that makes victory taste so sweet. It's the defeat. And if you don't have to grind through the defeat, how's the victory going to taste as sweet as it should when you get there? That's what I'm saying. So, Marcus Allen, Dr. Death. Man, Dr. Death, I think. Oh, man, you guys, I keep watching these comments, man. You guys are, I can't call it yet. I can't call it yet. It's so close. As soon as I see another argument pop up, throw me your best argument up in there. Let's see it. Dr. Death needs to go fishing. Well, he was a Raider, man, and the guy was an integral part of the first Super Bowl team. Marcus Allen, I mean, Super Bowl MVP. I mean, what else can you say about Marcus? What do you need to say about Marcus Allen? The only problem was the end of Marcus's career. He was LA, but we're just talking Raider. I'm sorry. You guys are swaying me. Dr. Death put up one hell of a fight for a 15 seed and was by far probably the closest to knocking off one of the favorites. It's got to be Marcus Allen. Marcus Allen's moving on. So your North bracket, second round, looks like this. 1 seed, Jim Otto will be facing off against 8 seed, Greg Townsend. 5 seed, Dave the Ghost Casper will face off against 5 seed, George Blanda. That's going to be an interesting conversation. How are you going to tell me either one of those guys deserves to sit down? Dave Casper against George Blanda. Yeah, bone up for that one. That's going to be an interesting conversation. That's going to go back and forth a few times. Number 6 seed, Bo Jackson, facing off against number 3 seed, Gene Upshaw. It's going to be tough for Bo to make it out of the second round. You have to bring hard, you Bo fans. Number 7, Lester Hayes, the judge, against number 2 seed, Marcus Allen. Now, you pitched a hard argument for Dr. Death as one of the historic defensive back tandems, the four of the Soul Patrol. Can Lester Hayes, possibly one of the greatest cornerback duos of all time, with him and Michael Haynes, can he knock off Marcus Allen, the 7 seed, take down the 2 seed of Marcus Allen? That's going to be an interesting conversation. You can make a very strong argument for Lester Hayes being a greater Raider than Marcus Allen. He's got the rings. Got the rings. Yeah, cities don't really matter in this conversation. We're talking greatest Raider of all time. It doesn't really matter if that's a LA Raider, an Oakland Raider. That honestly doesn't really matter. In this, you're talking Raider. And just because he may have only played in one era, that doesn't hold a lot of water, I don't think, really, in this conversation. I don't think. Unless you consider, if you base that, personally, you base it, they have to be a great Raider, to have to play in Oakland to be a great Raider. Well, hell, that's your personal opinion. And teach their own. But to me, I'm not, that criteria doesn't really stand out that much to me. That doesn't shine. So, now next Wednesday. Now, I'm lining up another interview for you guys as well. To start off next Wednesday's show. So, hopefully, I want you guys to come back every Wednesday. Obviously, I want you to come back every damn time we have a show. But I want you guys to come back on Wednesday, and I want to make it more interactive. I hope you guys enjoyed our sessions tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the 4-dub interview. But next week, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to try and have an interview at the beginning of the show, and then we'll get into our next first round region, which will be the East. We're going to go on the opposite side. You got, here, let me show it to you, and then I'll run it down for you. Zoom in there so you can see. It's your East bracket. That's your East bracket. You got number 1, Kenny Stabler, facing off against number 16, Tyrone Wheatley. Number 8, Ray Guy, facing off against number 9, Steve Wisniewski. Number 5, Mark Van Egan, facing off against number 12, Chester McLaughlin. Number 4, Lincoln Kennedy, facing off against number 13, John Matusak. Number 6, Rich Gannon, facing off against number 11, Ben Davidson. Number 3, Art Shell, facing off against number 14, Nnamdi Asomugha. Number 7, T-Mac, Terry McDaniel, facing off against Otis Sistrunk, number 10. Number 2 seed, Jim Plunkett, facing off against 15 seed, Khalil Mack. It's going to be some interesting ones there. I see the Ray Guy, Steve Wisniewski at 8-9. I see some, there's a couple interesting ones. The Terry McDaniel, Otis Sistrunk is a very interesting matchup. And do you see, is there a 15 seed, 2 seed upset with Khalil Mack against Jim Plunkett? Can you call Khalil Mack the greatest Raider of all time this early in his career? I would be very hard pressed to find that against who I consider to be one of the greatest Raider quarterbacks of all time. The man's the only one that's got 2 damn rings, and he does not get the cred he deserves. And that's Jim Plunkett. It could end up Stabler versus Plunkett, 1 versus 2, Matt. It could end up 1 versus 2. It could shake down to those 2. Very well could. It's going to be interesting. I think this will be fun to see how some of these shake out, because you had some fairly decent guys fall in the first bracket. And in the next bracket, you're going to have some serious names fall in the second round. So it's going to get very interesting. Now, tomorrow, in studio, we got the original Raider fucking Pirate. The one, the only, Captain Jack Rackham will be in studio with me tomorrow as we have the Raider Nation Ricochet, as we bounce back and forth through all of the hot Raider topics that are going on right now in your sports world. So tomorrow, make sure you join me. Captain Jack will be here, as you got the captain and the commish. And then, of course, on Friday, you've got Black Friday, Silver and Black Theater, as we dust off another Raider Classic. I got a great one picked out for you this week, so I think you guys will enjoy it. Now, I thought that Sunny Silver Sunshine, Raiderette Silver Sunshine, was going to be returning this Friday for her Raiderette show, but her son's still on spring break, I believe, and that we'll have to wait until next Friday, and then we will have our Raiderette show back that we have all been missing while she's been on her extended vacation down touring the Sunshine State. But she will be back next week. We're going to pin her down, make sure. But thank you for joining me. As always, new and old, my band of pirates, I appreciate you joining me on another edition of Raider Reaction, our first edition of the Raider Nation Invasion. I hope you guys enjoyed ripping through our first bracket in the Raider Reaction. Greatest Raider of all time. Of course, I'll clean it up. Punch in the names. I'll post it to the page tomorrow so we can see how your North bracket's shaking out. And we'll get ready to rip into the East next Wednesday. As always, thank you for joining me. We got other segments. This is the only thing we've got planned for our Raider Nation Invasion Wednesdays. We want you guys to be involved. We want you to be involved. So make sure you're here every Wednesday, because we got everything else. Thank you, Lines. Thank you, Mark Anthony, T-Courts, Jukebox, Leslie, every damn one of you, Big L, my team, all of you. As always, I would be nothing without the nation, and everybody stops in and hangs out with me every night. I appreciate each and every one of you. I am out. I will see you tomorrow. Captain Jack in the house. Until then, I'm gone. Peace, love, Raider Nation!